vacuuming this swarm away, nice and gentle. We've done this a few times with the vacuum, and the bees are fine after it. I mean, they go in the box,
Yep.
And then you see the box has got a lot of you can take it to pieces. So we've got our swarm in the bee vat box, and now we need to transfer it. There's a few ways you could do this, but over the times we've done it, we find tipping the bees into a box is easier than making a ramp and watch them march up in. A bit more reliable as well. So we're going to first put them in a large hive, because that gives us a nice bigger hole when you're tipping. It's hard to tip something into a small hole. The bees will tend to go onto the grass or the surroundings. So we've got the stand. So we'll put a floor in place, an entrance. Okay, now because it's a swarm, they could decide that they don't like where we put them, and they fly off again and just leave the box. So it's advisable for the first few days to put a queen excluder on the bottom, so the queen and unfortunately the drones won't be able to escape from the hive, and so it's more likely to keep them where they are. And then we'll put the brood box on. Okay, now we want them to end up in the nuke, but this is just temporarily to tip them in somewhere, so we have a nice big hole to tip them in. But to encourage them, we need to put some older frames in which are already drawn. Encourage them to stay, that is. So we make up a few frames, some old, some new. And we will put a couple of dummy boards and some more frames in, but for the moment, because we want a big hole here to tip in, we'll leave it at that. Right, now probably advisable I get my hood up at this point because there's bees going to be flying everywhere. Normally a swarm's quite good natured, but of course they've just been vacuumed, transported in a car, so they could be lively. I don't think they would be very aggressive, but could just be flying everywhere. Okay, I've just got the thicker gloves on just for lifting things and not getting propolis on my hands at this point in time. Right, so open the bee vac. The way the bee vac works, they get sucked in the bottom. There's a bottom tray, but they will tend to cluster up the top towards the light. I don't think the camera could see inside this hole where they're clustering, so you could try, but you probably won't see down in there, maybe. So it's a question of taking the latches off gently and then tipping them in. Right, that's the top off. And you can hear them roaring a bit. Where are they clustered? They seem to be down some quite close to the mesh, and some on the floor from the look of it. So let's take the rest off. Other preparation. Somewhere I've got a feather. Here we are, to help brush the bees into the box. So anyway, let's take that off the bottom first. Yeah, that's clear. Okay. And now you can see Actually, most of the bees are clustered in the top there. So Alla did see the queen earlier with these guys, but I can't see it at the moment. So I'm just going to start tipping here. And this is why the big hole is really useful. How am I doing? There's a lot of them in the bottom, a lot of them still in here, clinging on well. like cooking or something, getting the ingredients in the pot. Swarms aren't normally very aggressive though, but of course these ones have had a long day. I'm looking out for the queen as I go, but so far not seen her. You see what I mean, where it's good to have a big hole to be able to tip them into. I think I've pretty much got most of them. I'm having a little cluster at the top here. Come on, get in there with your sisters. Right, okay. I've got a few left, but done pretty well. So let's just put this at the front. And now I need to add the other frames and close the hive up. And be very gentle here because they're clinging onto the walls and clinging onto stuff, so you need to be quite careful not to do any crushing. So what we'll aim to do is leave them in this hive box for maybe a couple of days, because the weather's pretty good at the moment, and then transfer them to the nuke where they can build up. So crown board on, a couple of tiles. And we just need a roof, and there we are. Let's have a pick through some of this. So the bee vac did pick up some twigs as well. The box a bit more centered. There are a few dead ones in here, but overall very few. I'll leave that at the front too. The flying ones can fly up. There, and that's it. So all we need now is the roof, and that's putting a swarm into a hive.